Welcome to 70 Service Instructions. Today we're going to show you how to mold two windows together. The majority of our windows already come to you molded together, or they're a continuous head and seal where the two windows are already together in one frame. But just in case you would need to mold windows in the field, today we're going to show you how to do that. This window we had already removed the nail fin and the J channel, which is on other instructions we have on our website. So you would have to do that first. You'd have to remove the J channel and then remove the nail fin on a new construction window. On a replaced window, you can just put the two together because it's already off. After removing the nail fin and the J channel, there is a weld on these corners. What you need to do is take a pair of cutters and cut those welds off. And you also want to just cut back that accessory leg back into the frame a little bit so it opens up that channel, because you're going to have to need to put a mull in there. So you really can't hurt that area when you're taking that vinyl out, because it's going to get covered up by your mull strip anyhow. But you want that good and clean. They'll make your mull go in a little easier. So you need to do that to the top and to the bottom. Once again, that accessory groove, I'm just cutting in and then cutting it out. It gives me a nice smooth cut there, opens up my accessory channel so my piece can go through. And you can do that. It's better if you have cutters to do that, but if you don't, you can do that with a utility knife. The cutters make it a little easier. So then what we do then is we set our windows side by side. Now, today we're working with two smaller windows, so we can set them on a table. If you have taller windows, you might need them stood up upright. The main part about mulling now is to make sure that we're even. The two windows are even together. So get them side by side. Then you take a mull strip, which is the mull kit that comes with the window with the mull kits that we supply. And this strip actually pounds into the channel between the two windows, and that's what holds them together. So you can go a little bit higher and a little bit lower on this, leave excess there. And you can use a mallet or a hammer. If you're going to use a hammer, go light with it. A mallet would be better. I'm using a vinyl paddle right now. And all that you're doing is just pounding. Put the two windows together, and you just pound the strip in. Strip gets in, just make sure it's pounded down on both channels. Okay, make sure that your window is even. You don't want them to be offset. Take your cutters and cut the strips off. Then at this point, you'll turn the window over. You'll be doing the same thing to the inside of the window. You take the same type of strip, and it just pounds onto the window. Make sure that it's pounded in the whole way. Once again, after it's pounded in, take your cutters and cut the ends so that they're flush. And at this point, where your two windows come together, the top and the bottom, where they come together, you'd want to use 100% silicone. And we're going to fill this cavity full of silicone. Both sides of the nail fin. Fill it all up. You don't want any water getting in there. And after it's nice and full, you may want to use a wet rag and clean that off. you want to do both ends of the window, the top and the bottom, okay? Go heavy on the silicone. You really don't want any moisture or any water getting in there, so go heavy on the silicone. And when you install the window, you want to even go heavier in them areas. That way nothing gets by. So after you do that, then you will need to go to the top of the windows where they come together. Remove the sash stops on both sides. And then we use just a 1-inch Phillips head screw. Take the screw gun and just run it through the window. Run one from the other side. And that's okay if they stick out because they're going to be covered anyhow. Then you take these stops, snap them back in, cover them screws up. And those screws are there just to protect the mull from coming apart. It can't come apart because your pound-in strip's already there, but we take more precaution just by putting the screws in to help it out. Now, you can't put screws the whole way down the jamb because it could interfere with your balance. But if you're using a string balance, at the bottoms, you want to put screws in also. Now on a double hung window, you would put it into the back track where your sash stop is. You remove the sash stop on the back and run your screws through there. Put your sash stop back in to cover those screws up. Now on a constant force balance, you can run a screw right above the balance in the middle. But on the block and tackle balance, you run a screw in the middle, but you have to put it to the edge of the balance pocket. So that way the balance doesn't interfere. Once you have your screws in, you got all your silicone, the mull is complete at that point, you can install the window.